So we got Wolverine, Daredevil, and Spider-Man, and it says which character pictured has the best senses. Now this question is really fucking interesting because all three of these characters have really good senses, but they're all different in very different ways. Wolverine pretty much has that classic half man, half beast senses thing going on, pretty much having a really good sense of smell and advanced hearing. But then you have Spider-Man who has his spider sense, which is pretty fucking OP, bro. Essentially his spider sense is pretty much giving precognition, bro. Literally giving him the opportunity to foresee a threat and react to it in real time. Which sounds pretty simple in theory, but it can really take him a long way. Mind you, his spider senses are so strong it happens even without him knowing, bro. Like a really good example of this is in No Way Home when Spider-Man's soul was deadass knocked out of his body, and his body by itself with no soul in it was moving on its own because of the spider sense. And then you have Daredevil, legitimately the master of all four senses because he does not have eyesight. Daredevil's case is really interesting because he lost his eyesight, all the other senses got amplified to like a fucking million, bro. I kid you not. His remaining four senses of touch, taste, hearing, and scent are so fucking powerful, bro. He has such precise control over all those four senses, it's actually insane. He's able to precisely pick out and point out certain things using his senses that nobody else will be able to do. Nobody else here on this list will be able to do the things that Daredevil's able to do, bro. In a room full of 1,000 people, he'd be able to identify every single last person just by using his other four senses, by being able to hear what they say, smell what they've eaten, what they've done, anything they've ever possibly had on their body for the last 24 hours, or even last week. It goes back so fucking far, bro. He's even able to pinpoint his hearing so he can only hear just your conversation taking place. Pretty much Daredevil's immense precision control over his remaining four senses really makes him a step above Spider-Man and Wolverine for many different reasons, bro. And really that main ability that Daredevil has to manipulate any of his other four senses to any degree really makes him overpowered as fuck, bro. Legitimately nothing gets past him. You can argue that Daredevil still gets hit, yes, but that's simply due to physical restrictions. He's not a superhuman in that aspect, he's a superhuman as far as his senses. If Daredevil's body was able to react the same way his mind and his other senses are able to, he'd be untouchable completely. That's why villains should really be lucky that Daredevil's not as powerful as he actually could be, because despite his senses being better than Wolverine's and Spider-Man's, his physical limitations is what keeps him back. If Daredevil was to take the Captain America Super Soldier Serum, he'd be so much more powerful, it'd be fucking insane. What do you guys think? Which character do you feel like has the best senses? And by the way, if you guys didn't know, I make these videos about superheroes every single day of my life, so if you love superhero content, follow for more videos, bro.